Okay, live has started, I guess. So last time we did a debate, but we were not able to, like, we had to stop it in between due to some technical issues. And
Right.
yeah, we lost that debate also. So I guess
I
today
know
also we are
that.
continuing with the same topic. So,
Yeah.
like, it's whether antinatalism is discriminating animals. It's like, so as extinctionists, we propose that humans should continue to procreate. They should
Mhm.
survive. They shouldn't go extinct, so that
Right.
they can help animals out from this hell. So that's our point. And
Mhm.
like Raphael from side of antinatalism, he's opposing that idea because maybe he like prefers humans to go extinct, right? For him, like reproduction is it's unethical. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
So let's start then. Okay. So Raphael, you can go on.
All right. So your basic point is that humans should keep
Hmm.
reproducing so that we can find a
Ah,
way to end all life. Correct.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, because the idea is that if we end everything over here, then
Hmm.
basically life will come again and humans will come again.
So,
Right? That's
so
what
you are
your
saying
idea is.
I didn't get you. Like, okay, okay, okay. So that's
Yeah.
not the
Mm.
point. Like, whether humans will come again or not, that's not the point. But animals also deserves same kind of moral consideration like humans. That's our point. They are also capable of feeling suffering. They also want to escape from this suffering. And the main thing
Right.
is that they are not capable like us to solve their issues.
Mm.
They don't have the intellectual capacity like us to think about life,
Mm.
to think about not
Right.
to reproduce or something. So as humans we'll have to take responsibility for them. We'll have to make them extinct. We'll have to euthanize them. Yeah.
No, but I think we are already on the verge of euthanizing them in the sense of like, see, now we are going to
Mhm.
live another 50 years on this planet easily, right? And I mean, we are not
Mhm.
going to live well. Okay, everything is a mess. There's going to be fires. But the idea is that if we are living here, that some level of humanity will be here for the next 50 years. And already, for example, you have plants, right? And if there's more carbon in the air, the plant
Mhm.
reduces the amount of nutrients in it. So already
Okay.
the animals are getting fewer nutrients, right? So there a
Mhm.
lot of animals are starving to death. Other than the animals that are dying and being killed in floods and forest fires and
Mhm.
everything, right? So all of this is automatically going to go away anyway. And if you're talking about bacterial life, right? Well, let a tardigrade can survive in minus 200, maybe I don't know, probably less than that, but it can survive on the moon. It can survive radiation. It can survive nuclear. It can survive everything, right? So, what are the chances of actually removing microbial life? In normal life, I'm sure we'll eliminate in the next 50 years. That's for sure.
So actually, there is like we don't have to cause extinction of microbial life, right? Because they are not
Hmm.
sentient by nature. They don't have the capacity to suffer. So even if they exist, it's fine for us. We don't have any issue with that. So if you
Right.
have a if you are fearing whether these beings are gonna evolve out to become sentient again by the
Hmm.
process of evolution, then like I'm gonna raise this point that. Uh, Without any human intervention itself, earth is gonna become lifeless. So like due to
Correct.
many reasons, our sun is gonna become a red giant within 5 billion years.
Hmm.
But due to
Right.
many reasons itself, like maybe within 2 or 1.5 billion years itself, earth is gonna become unsuitable for life to survive.
Right.
So if this process of evolution from microbes to sentient beings, if it's gonna happen, it'll surely take more than 2 billion years. You can see in the history,
Correct.
like it has already took.
Hmm.
So
Right.
even if it's gonna evolve out again, it's not an issue for, because by that time earth is gonna become lifeless naturally.
Correct. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's our point.
Yeah. So my point is like I guess I don't know if you're agreeing over here, but it's basically saying that all life is going to go extinct anyway. All right, and the ones that you can't kill. In the sense of like bacterial life is not possible. Let's take crocodiles or cockroaches for example. Like they've been around since the times of the dinosaurs. Okay, there's
Hmm.
no way we're going to be able to find ways to euthanize them unless they starve to death, which I also think is going to happen. All right, they are already like there's almost no jungle left anywhere of the earth except maybe Congo. The Amazon is burning, the Canadian forests are burning, right? So it's only a matter of time before all of this goes extinct. So, like, why would you reproduce to ensure that, these guys are also euthanized?
See, like when I say we are going to euthanize animals, it doesn't mean that we are going to catch each of those animals and we are going to
Of course.
inject them with something. So
Mm,
there are like various methods you can. It will be up to like what kind of method we are going to use.
mm-hmm,
So even if a future society, as like if an extinctionist society is going to
mm,
decide to use nuclear weapons, I don't think any
mm,
crocodile will be left, right? So
correct.
yeah, so it will depend. I'm not advocating for using nuclear weapon or something, but it will depend. It's up to the future society. So I think you know that we are aiming at eradicating the root cause of life in this world itself. So
Mm,
there can be life beyond our planet too. So
right.
so we are aiming at like finding a technology that can possibly destroy the entire universe itself, if it's possible. I'm not saying that it's
Okay.
surely possible. So but there
Mm-hmm,
are like various theories in physics which opens a like possibility.
mm,
Maybe it's possible.
okay.
So we will have
Right.
to wait for it. Humans will have to survive. They'll have to explore these things, and if it's possible, we'll have to eradicate that root cause of life itself. And if that is not possible, we'll reduce it to our planet, or how much ever is possible for us. If our galaxy it's
Mm.
possible, or if our planet like that. So uh, yeah, that's my point.
The only problem is you are not factoring in the whole idea of consent. Okay, so for example, if you have a
Mm,
child, okay, and the whole
mm,
idea is that that child will find the technology. Now, you and I will die in the next 50 years, maybe 40.
yeah,
Okay, let's
sure.
assume the child
Mm,
goes to Mars or whatever and,
mm,
starts living there and, makes a life there. Why, how can we assume that the child is
mm,
going to agree with our philosophy? Just like we don't agree with our
mm,
parents' philosophy, maybe they don't agree with our philosophy. So how are you going to ensure that
mm.
happens?
See, we cannot guarantee about anything that is going to happen tomorrow, but I
Hmm.
can guarantee you one thing. Like if we are not gonna reproduce, if humans are gonna
Hmm.
get extinct, then obviously there will be nobody to help out these animals.
Correct.
Okay, but if we are gonna take a chance, if we are reproducing, if a next generation is going to come, then
Hmm.
there is obviously a chance that they can be working towards causing extinction. They can achieve that too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's obviously a better thing to have a chance rather than not to have a chance at all, right?
All right, but you and I don't need to do it now. Like there are enough idiots who are reproducing as of today, right?
Huh.
And there are enough people who are having retarded children and defective children and handicapped children and all that.
Hmm,
And
hmm,
they
hmm,
obviously everyone is using excess resources on
hmm,
them, right? They need
hmm.
diapers, they need everything for all their lives, and they need
Yeah.
special cars that use more fuel.
Hmm.
So people are going to continue reproducing. Why do you and I have to do it? Is my question.
Uh, See, it's not necessary we have to reproduce, but the
Hmm.
point is that humans shouldn't go extinct. So according to antinatalism, the like act of reproducing, procreating itself is unethical. But our point is
Mm-hmm.
that the act of procreating by itself is not unethical. It depends on the
Mm-hmm.
situation. Okay, for so if the situation is like everybody stops procreating, they choose not to procreate, and tomorrow everyone is going to go extinct, then obviously we will
Okay.
choose to procreate. Obviously we will
Mm-hmm.
choose to procreate, we will procreate by ourselves because we need human society to help out animals. Then
Right.
another point is that antinatalism by itself, it's useless basically. because we consider humans and animals as equals. If you have the same level of capacity to endure pain, suffering, etc., you are equal. Okay, so when we take today's condition, if you are giving birth to a child, that
Right.
child, a human, is going to consume a lot of resources. None of the animals can consume that much resources, right? So when they
Right.
consume resources, obviously natural resources are going to get exhausted, like a lot of forests will be cleared. So lot of animals which could have potentially be born and came to this world and could suffered uh, extremely, they will not be born because their
Right.
ecosystems have been destroyed due to this human.
Right.
So it's actually a good thing. Instead of one human,
Right.
a lot of animals. Okay, I agree that that human is coming to this world, he might suffer, but instead of him, lot of other animals are gonna escape from birth, right? So it's actually a very good thing. One thing is the number will be very different. If it's one human here, there will be a lot of animals who are
Right.
gonna be saved from being born. And another
Right.
point is that the condition of animals is even worse than humans. Humans, we do have a lot of technologies, and our intellectual capacity is better. Okay, many countries, they have legally they are allowed to opt for assisted euthanasia. So but regarding animals, they don't even have that capacity, right, to think that all these sufferings are happening due to life, due to the existence, because I am
Right.
living. It will be better if I die. They don't have the capacity to think so. So
Right.
their suffering will be much more. Their conditions are worst. Like they don't have any kind of technologies to support them. So even in case of diseases, etc., we do receive medical assistance, etc. But in wild, you just think about it. They'll be attacked by parasites, and they'll be roaming around in the wild with that. They cannot do anything.
Right.
Nobody to assist them. It will be literally a hell. So human
Okay.
suffering, yeah, I will. It's better to for one human to suffer instead of numerous animals.
Right, but
Yeah.
I think of it differently. Like instead of reproducing
Mm,
and wasting your energy on one human being, why not
mm,
adopt 10? Okay, maybe buy an
mm,
orphanage, may use your resources, buy an orphanage, teach
mm,
all of those kids the best bloody life possible, teach them how to attain
mm,
it. All right, make them
mm,
all this, make them also delusional about humanity, ask them to adopt 10 orphanages, and
mm,
burn forests on scale. See, already 73% of all land mammals are extinct. All right, it's only a
mm,
matter of
mm,
time before all of them go extinct within our lifetimes anyway. So
mm,
why not scale it up instead of having your child and being responsible for having putting that child in the world? Take kids that are already there and scale their lives up so that they can destroy more.
See, this thing about animals like going extinct, it's a bit complicated
Mm,
because I don't think climate change or human induced climate change, which is
mm,
unintentional, it is not going to cause total extinction because
okay.
uh, obviously maybe most of the animals might go extinct, but
Mm,
some of the animals will be adaptive to certain ecosystems, like certain conditions more than humans. They'll survive, they'll reproduce, and
correct.
it will continue like that. So
Mm,
the thing is that we'll have to. Many mass extinctions have already happened in history, right? Many mass extinctions have happened. Global warming has
mhm,
happened even before, but animals didn't go extinct
right.
due to any global warming because they have
Correct.
survived. Some of them will survive and just they'll reproduce. So
Correct.
we have to cause it intentionally. We have to study about ecosystems. We have to study the root cause of life. Everything we have to study, and we'll have to take a smart measure to
Mm,
make sure that life is not going to come back. So it's a different thing. And about adoption, uh, it's
mm,
fine. I'm not saying that everybody should reproduce or something, but
mm,
if humans are not gonna go extinct, if our number is sufficient enough to maybe cause extinction, i- it's fine whether you according to priorities. Like I chose not to reproduce because it is better for me to do activism, right? If I have a child, I'll have to
mm,
spend time on that child, money, resources on that child. it's better I don't have
Right.
a child because I'll have a lot of free time and resources to do activism. So it's up to you.
Right.
But in case if it's required, like humans should be like whether number of humans is not enough, we need more humans, means we should
Mm,
be ready to reproduce also. And reducing the number of children by itself is not useful. That is what I told earlier. Like if you reduce the number of human children, there will be increased number of animal children. That's all.
mm.
So in like in result there will be no change. There will be
No,
like
they.
some net suffering
I
will be
don't.
same.
I don't feel that's correct. Firstly, the number of
Mm,
human children is not decreasing anytime soon. That's for sure. Even though all
mm,
the statistics say that oh, we are all going extinct in many countries, the Africans are never
mm,
going to stop. The Indians are never going to stop,
mm,
and the Arabs are never going to stop.
mm.
All right.
Okay.
So we have no
Mm,
choice over there. That's the fun thing. Even if you're
mm,
saying that if we reduce the number of human children, it's not really about
mm,
quantity. It's about quality. Okay,
mm,
300 million Americans destroy the
mm.
world 10 times more than any Indian, even a middle class Indian. Forget a rich Indian, right? So
Huh.
it's really about quality. It's about getting them addicted to
Mm,
that lifestyle, which can cause extinction. So and and basically fighting these people, these idiots who want to save the ecology and say, oh, we're going to live a nice, sustainable life. Nonsense. So these
mm.
and thankfully these idiots are
Hello.
few and far between. Hello, can you hear me?
I have some difficulty in hearing you, like some
Okay.
disturbance in the voice. Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So my point is that these guys,
Mm,
they um they are very few and far between, thankfully, because humans are extremely greedy at a base level,
mm,
right? We are very
mm,
obsessed with survival. So
mm,
the worry that there'll be fewer people, and because once there are fewer people, there'll be more resources. And there is a law, I forgot the law. It says
mm,
once you reduce the number of resources, the amount of
mm,
time the resources are used is triples.
mm,
Okay, so
mm,
for
mm,
example, when the price of petrol went down, Americans went for
mm,
three times as many car outings. All right.
mm,
So there's no worry there in that sense that we are going to definitely end because we are extremely stupid, and we
mm,
have to keep the people stupid. I think our only thing is to keep the people in greed and fear. That's all, and that is
mm,
probably how the big people think about it, and probably for all you know,
mm,
they're villains.
mm,
Um,
mm,
so yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. And the need to reproduce. So if something, if a push comes to shove, it will be better if we don't get someone to reproduce. For the simple reason, when we all die out, no one's going to take care of the nuclear plants. No one's going to take care of the coal-fired stuff, right? There
mm,
there are thousands of big fires burning even today. So and
mm,
most importantly, what will happen is all the aerosol in the air, right, will
mm,
reduce. Right now we are polluting the air, correct? But that
mm,
aerosol has something called a mirroring effect, and
mm,
it is reducing the amount of global warming. When the aerosol
mm,
goes, then you will see real fire. Okay, that's why
mm,
2020 was the hottest in ever because we had lesser aerosols in the air. 2024 is the second hottest. I think it's going to be the first hottest year
mm,
because
mm,
all the ships, many ships, stopped producing particulate matter. All right,
mm,
because there was some agreement or some nonsense, so there was less particulate matter in the air. So it's a matter of
mm,
time. Like we are already baked. It's a question of letting
mm,
the oven explode. You know.
mm. See, even if all the nuclear power plants in this world explode, also, it's not sufficient enough to for all animals to go extinct as of now. Because currently, how much energy we have like harvested, it's not enough. Even if we harvest all the uranium in this planet and like explode it, also, it's actually not enough. So
Mm,
maybe cobalt-based nuclear weapons, it may be sufficient for it. It can cause extinction, maybe, but
mm,
still we have to. And another point is that we have to obviously search for ways for causing cosmic extinction, that is
mm,
to like cause extinction throughout the universe. So anyway
mm,
humans will have to survive, so there is no question in that. And the other point you have told is that I just forgot. Sorry. Can you remind me? What
About
was
the
the first
ones that
point
will
you
go
told?
extinct and there is particulate matter in the air which will burn everything anyway.
Yeah, even then it's limited to Earth, right? So maybe we have a possibility to help someone outside of our planet also. We don't know that as of now, right? So all these things are there, and I guess first you told some point. I forgot that entirely. Something about
I don't
reproduction or
remember
something.
what was.
Okay, okay,
No, no,
fine.
I
You can
said
go.
that.
Ah,
Yeah. Anyway. So you're
hmm.
saying okay, cosmic scale, right? You're saying that we should.
Yeah.
I don't
Hmm.
see why exactly we are responsible for the cosmic scale. As long as we can
Hmm.
do good for what we see, right? And for the
Hmm.
suffering that we see, it should be enough. Having a kid,
Hmm.
again, like I said, would be a question of consensus. If there'll be like two factions, one faction which agrees with us and the other faction which doesn't agree with us, and they'll fight and then they'll finish off each other.
Hmm.
You understand?
Hmm.
So it's really like you're taking a huge gamble just by reproducing and saying, okay, I'm
Hmm.
going to go to some other planet and try and save them and nonsense. I mean,
Hmm.
what are the chances? Why are you taking that chance? Is my question.
See, that's not a gamble actually. It's not at all a gamble because, like, if you don't take up that step, right? If you don't even try to help somebody outside of our planet,
Mm,
obviously they are gonna suffer. Like,
mm,
obviously we are not going to do anything for them. But if we
mm,
try to do something, there is a chance we can, like, help them. Otherwise, there is a chance we will just die off, right? What
mhm,
is the difference, like, what is bad in that? So
mm,
anyway, either you will go extinct or otherwise you will help others and go extinct. So it's better
mm.
to choose to help others and go extinct, right?
Yeah, but that is a question for us who are already alive.
Mm,
What about the ones who are not alive? How do we not take their consent, have them assume that they will
mm.
have the similar philosophy, and and then assume that
Uh,
they won't go extinct, you know?
See, philosophy and all doesn't matter for me actually. Like, only the result matters, whether we will eradicate all the suffering or not. All this consent
Mm,
or whatever thing you told, philosophy, rights, etc., these all revolve around suffering, right? We have all these
mhm.
concepts because we have to eradicate suffering. So
Correct.
in order to uh, like, solve a bigger suffering, you will have to choose smaller ones sometimes. So it's like that. If next generation, even though it's without their consent, it's better, because if we don't do that, like, generations and generations of animals or aliens or anything, they are gonna be born without their consent anyway.
Mhm. I
So
know
it
that,
doesn't
but
matter
that is
whether,
see
yeah.
that should be a problem for people like you and me who are in their society. All right. For now, for
Mm,
example, my assumption is not even about consent. My assumption is that if they go extinct, if
mm,
we have kids and they go extinct because we don't have a lot of time on this earth, right?
mm,
Uh, what about that? Like, what happens if they go extinct? Then what is the point of you having it reproduced? You understand? The chances of you being successful in
mm,
having kids who believe in the same philosophy, then go ahead
mm,
in the universe and destroy life over
mm.
there are
Okay.
minuscule of the minuscule. You understand?
See, you are saying that it's the responsibility of people like us in their society. So there can never be people like us in the society of, like, monkeys or lions or anything, right? Because
Okay.
by their species are not intellectually capable of doing that. So when we are talking
Okay.
about a, like, extraterrestrial species also, we don't know
Mm,
whether they are intelligent or they can be like unintelligent beings also, like animals.
mm,
So we don't know
mm.
anything about, like, we have a very limited knowledge about universe right now. So
Right.
we have to explore all that thing. And there is no risk in this. Like, actually, what is the risk you are saying? Like, anyway you are gonna go extinct. You are saying that we don't have much time in this planet, anyway we are gonna go extinct.
Hmm.
Before that, we are taking
Right.
a chance. Yeah, we are taking a chance to help others too. Maybe we are
Mm,
successful, maybe we are not successful. It's always best to
mm.
take a chance, right? Because we are not losing anything,
Okay.
anyway you are gonna go extinct. There is only to
Mm.
gain, right, if you do that.
Right. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, see,
And one more.
I completely disagree because it's not worth the. So as a, I agree with what you're saying in that sense,
Mm,
but because I too am an FList, hardcore FList, but
mm,
like as an anti-natalist also, I
mm,
wouldn't do that to a kid of mine and then have him 0.00001 chance to
mm,
actually go out, do something, do whatever nonsense and help some other
mm,
species which may or may not exist. And because eventually there's something called the Fermi
mm,
paradox. Okay, so
mm,
there'll be intelligent life, and that intelligent life will destroy itself. I truly
mm,
believe in the Fermi paradox.
mm,
So
mm,
it's only a matter of time. Like we cannot assume these things, these many events in one shot. That okay, this is going to
mm,
be okay. That's going to be. So I'm not going to take that risk. Well, if you do want
mm,
to take the risk, fair enough. But then that leads me to my next question: is
mm.
why do you believe in euthanasia? Because I asked you the other day, and you're like, I believe in euthanasia. So I want to
Mm.
understand why.
So one thing you told about Fermi paradox. So Fermi
Mm,
paradox is actually just one theory. Okay, I
mm,
already told you like we have a very limited knowledge about universe.
mm,
Paradox, obviously it has some logic. It might be true also, but as I told, we don't have much knowledge about the universe. Maybe we are the first intelligent species in universe. That is also not
mhm,
questionable because of our limited knowledge. So if we are the
mm,
only, like if we are the first intelligent species in this world, it's our responsibility, right, to help
mm,
aliens also. So
mm,
and you told that you are not going to take a risk, but because I don't even understand like what is the risk there. Because for me, I'm an extinctionist, so I don't discriminate anybody. For me, everyone is same.
mm,
I don't discriminate whether it's my child or someone else's child, my neighbor's child, or whether
mm,
that child belongs to a different species. If they have the
mm,
capacity to suffer, if they are sentient, they have equal consideration in my eyes. So
mm,
if instead of my child, if if another monkey is gonna be born in this world, it's
mm.
and if that monkey is gonna suffer, it's same for me. It's same. It's basically same. Both of them are suffering.
Correct.
So you may be
Mm,
thinking that if you while you are reproducing, you are taking a chance. But
mm,
I don't find like you are taking a risk. I don't find what is the risk in there, because whether you reproduce or not, those natural resources will be consumed by someone else and they will reproduce, right? Maybe it's an animal,
so.
and that
Mm,
animal child's suffering also matters equally for me. So there is no risk here until life is eradicated from the very base. The root cause of life is eradicated. We are not
mm,
actually making any kind of change, whether by reproducing or whether by not reproducing. You are not actually creating any kind of change. You are thinking that the potential suffering of your child has been eradicated. That chance is gone,
mm,
but it
mm.
doesn't matter. Instead of your child, someone else's child is gonna suffer. So from a from a like wider perspective, it is not making any change in the net suffering, right?
No, 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 no. That's not the point. My point is that, see, okay,
Mm,
one child won't have that much impact. Is my point. My point is, if you and I and 10 of us make a group and go and burn down the
mm,
Congo rainforest, all right,
mm,
and we go and burn every coal mine available,
mm,
open coal mine, and then we
mm,
go and burn down the Canadian forest, and one by one, Amazon, everything.
mm,
It will
mm,
have much more impact than having one child. So if we
mm,
apply our brains rather than our brawn
mm,
and say that, oh, I'm
mm.
going to have one child and, because of these resources, just burn down all the resources. It's that simple.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine for me. I'm not saying that you have to do it through reproduction itself. If there is some other
Mm,
option for you through by which you can cause this extinction, total extinction now itself from with your hand, it's
mm,
it's always better, right? It's better. I'm not
mm,
saying that you have to do it through reproduction itself, but the fact is that today we don't have any technology. We need the society to do that, right?
mm,
For example, to like explore about universe, to understand more about universe, we
mm,
cannot do it as a person. We need the society, the
mm,
scientific society to grow. So that is the fact, that is the reality right now.
mm.
So for that, human society will have to survive for a very long time. That is a fact actually. And
Not really. I
yeah.
don't agree with that because,
Mm,
see, because like Vivekanand said that give me 10 people and I will change the country. All right.
Huh.
Similarly, give me 100 people and I will change the world. It's a matter of,
Mm,
and you don't even need much science for this. You just need to dump carbon in the air, right? Burn the right places, get the right, do the right action, and you'll be fine. You'll be
mm,
through. You create much more. I'm telling you, if you burn 1,000 trees, you'll create much more damage than if you have a
mm,
job. So why not
mm.
use your energy for that?
See, even if it's possible, okay, I give it that it's possible, but even then, it's limited to a planet Earth, right? Our Earth is just a small planet in this vast universe. Our observable
Hmm.
universe itself is like 90 billion light years far.
Hmm.
So it's just a small planet when we see from above. So that's the point for to learn more about universe, to explore, to invest, like to find a technology to, if it's possible, to find a technology to destroy the entire universe. For that, we'll have to survive for a long time. That is the reality.
Okay.
Yeah, that will
Mm.
obviously take a long time.
Well, fair enough. I don't agree
And
because
like
I don't
if
think
it is, yeah. So if it
go
is
ahead.
possible that, if you are saying that if I'm giving you 100 people, and if you are telling that it's possible for me to find an option for cosmic extinction, I
Hmm.
absolutely agree with you. We should do that.
Hmm.
We should try that. We are trying to gather that 100 people, right? If
Hmm.
it's possible for them, we don't have to expand. But if it's not possible for 100 people, you'll have to reproduce. Next generation of 1,000 people should come. Next generation of 10,000 people should come. Like that only we can be realistic, right? Yeah.
Fair enough. That is up to you. I don't agree with that because I don't see any possibility of there being life in the universe. And
Mm,
even if there is, it's either at a very basic stage or it has reached the Fermi paradox.
mm,
And that's not something that I want to. But then, in that case, if you're so pro
mm,
extinction, my question to
mm.
you is, why do you agree with euthanasia?
Why do I agree with euthanasia?
Hmm.
Like, what's wrong in euthanasia? I didn't get the question.
No, because then if you're this pro extinction and you don't care about your child not having consent, right?
Uh,
Technically, you should not care about the person consenting to end their life, right? You should say that this person is in pain or whatever, but is using
okay, okay.
hundreds or thousands of resources, right? A
Mm,
chemotherapy has 100 things in it, right? All
yeah.
mined from
Mm.
the earth. So why do you agree with euthanasia in that case? You should let that person suffer also, right?
Yeah, like logically it will not make a difference, like you told. If that person is replacing a lot of other cancer patients who are animals, it's
Hmm.
logically it's right. Like
Hmm.
it will not make a difference. But
Right.
maybe you can reproduce that person by reproducing, or like you can, like you told, you can use more resources, the patient.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, I guess in some way we've come to the conclusion of the argument because we are going to agree to disagree here. And
Mm,
I'm more on the side of buy an orphanage, get 100 orphans, influence them, burn down forests, get them to consume,
mm,
get them obsessed and fearful and
mm,
greedy, and
mm,
make them think about money all the time, which will be much more effective than just
mm,
having a child and assuming that that child is going to have a child and then we're going
mm.
to cause cosmic extinction. So I guess in a way we've come to our end of the debate, some sort of impasse. That's it.
Actually, I don't say that making people maximalist is a solution to suffering, because it doesn't matter if you're just a person consuming a lot. It doesn't guarantee that you are going to cause extinction or something. But if the next generation is like, if people are more aim oriented, if they are working hard
Hmm.
towards uh, finding a way to cause extinction, that will be more promising. That's what I think,
Right. No,
rather
even
than
that,
whether
like
they are. Yeah.
you could even
Yeah.
buy that orphanage and still do the same thing. To understand, you can still do.
Hmm.
You can convince them to adopt others, or like I would say, do it in the ethical way. where you
mm.
are not creating life and not creating life without consent, but taking life that already is and
Mm.
inspiring them to do the same work because it'll be much more effective than just one child.
See, one more thing is that there about this maximalism you have mentioned, right? Consuming a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So might be it is a problem also. Like I told you, like humans will have to survive for a long time if we have
Mm-hmm.
to cause cosmic extinction. So what if all this overconsumption is gonna impact badly on our survival itself, like ecological disruption, so climate change itself.
Mm-hmm.
If we need a proper ecosystem to survive, then obviously sometimes we will have to reduce our consumption also. So all these
Mm-hmm.
things will depend on the situation. So you cannot
Right.
clearly classify like whether maximalism is good, minimalism is good, or reproduction is
Mm-hmm.
good, reproduction is bad. Like that, you cannot actually classify some as ethical act and
No,
some as unethical act. Yeah.
you can
So that
classify it,
yeah.
and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why
Hmm.
you can classify it because our objectives are different. I just want the Earth to
Hmm.
burn, right? You have the cosmos in mind. So in your case,
Hmm.
you will buy an orphanage, get 100 orphans, inspire them to live minimally,
Hmm.
but to destroy the
Hmm.
cosmos, right? In my case, I'll buy an orphanage, get 100 orphans, and inspire them to destroy the Earth. So though yours will technically be minimalism and mine will be maximalism.
See, I don't think like rationally and ethically there can be different aims or objectives, because if you are saying that it's subjective aims, like objectives can be like what all things we are going to do, our aims are, it can be subjectively decided. Then I can
Mm,
also decide that my consideration is limited to myself. I don't have to care about our children or animals or anything. I don't have to care
mm,
about my neighbor. Okay, okay, I'm not
mm,
reproducing. I don't have to care about my neighbor, so I'm not gonna do activism. So like that and all, I can
mm,
decide. But when we are thinking ethically and rationally, there is no point in discriminating. Everybody can suffer in the same way, right? So in that way itself, we are saying that according to you, it should be limited to Earth, but there is no rationality behind that, because rationally if you are thinking like universe is very vast. Okay, it's very vast, and if life could be originated, life can originate in a place like Earth, there is like
mm,
lot of probability that life can originate elsewhere also. We don't have a proper theory how life originated right now. We haven't concluded how life actually originated. Sometimes it can be very vast. There are many Earth
right.
like planets already, like we have already discovered, which has conditions similar to Earth. So there is possibly
Right.
there is life. Okay, so life can be very common also, and it can be rare also. So there is always
Mm,
a chance that life is there. So if they can also suffer, there is rationally no difference in the suffering of a earthling or an individual from a different planet. So
okay.
that all should be ended when you are thinking rationally. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's rational. I see. I'll tell you why. Because
Mm,
even if I
mm,
go to end that Earth, right? That Earth is
mm,
like a quarter of a billion light years away, right? It's
mm,
really really
mm,
far, right?
mm,
Now, as far as we know, nothing is faster than light, and light is
mm,
essentially photons. It's nothing, right?
mm,
Now
mm,
you are assuming that at some point in time that somebody will be able to go there, and then what if they don't
mm,
find life? All right.
mm,
So all of this energy that is being wasted is not
mm.
rational, is what my point is. Science will not reach
Yeah.
the point where it will go faster than
Mm.
light. Okay.
Yeah.
So that that is
Yeah.
that is my that is why I think I'm being more rational than you are. You are right in the
Mm,
when you're saying that, okay, it's
mm,
suffering and we are suffering and everyone is suffering. I agree. But each
mm,
to his own and each must find their own path.
mm, mm,
So we can as humans find our own path and we are on that path. They will
mm.
eventually find their own path. Why should we bother? That's all I'm saying. Because I'm being rational.
See, that's a fact you told, that we cannot travel above the speed of light. But for causing cosmic extinction, it's not even like mandatory that you will have to travel beyond our galaxy or something. Even there are
Hmm.
other possibilities too, like theories like vacuum decay. So
Hmm.
if we are able to trigger a vacuum bubble, we don't have to travel anywhere. From here itself, we can initiate the destruction of universe. I'm not saying that it's
Hmm.
100% possible, but obviously there is a possibility. It can be sometimes done. Okay, so that is one thing. And even regarding faster than light travel, there are a few theories in physics, I guess, like Alcubierre warp,
Hmm.
something like that. I have read about that, but I don't
Okay.
remember properly. So according to that
Hmm.
theory, it might be possible to that we can even travel to a very far part of the universe in a short
Hmm.
time. So,
Hmm.
as I already mentioned, our knowledge regarding universe is very limited. We have to develop,
Right.
we have to expand our knowledge. Then only we can give a concluding answer whether it's possible or whether it's not possible. So it's not wise to take a decision right now whether it's impossible to
Hmm.
cause cosmic extinction or whether it's 100%
Hmm.
possible. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay,
Mm.
fair enough. I guess that is where we disagree. No, but I like the fact that we came to a different
Mm.
conclusion. And
Yeah.
my opinion of sticking to the Earth one, and maybe
Mm.
adopting a few hundred orphans and making them maximalist, has become stronger in that sense.
Mm.
And I don't know about you. You talk. You can only you can talk about yourself.
Yeah, as long as there are orphans for you to adapt, as long as somebody is reproducing, procreating for us to adopt, it's fine. But the point is that somebody will have to procreate, right? Whether it's you or some other people, they will have to procreate. So that is the point. If antinatalism spreads internationally, if it everybody accepts that, then it becomes a big
Hmm.
problem. Yeah, otherwise
No,
also
not
antinatalism,
everyone will
yeah.
accept it. I'm very sure of it. Not everyone will accept it because it's humanly
Yeah,
impossible. Because we are
and
completely
also
animals,
yeah, sorry,
and
sorry.
we want to reproduce and we want to survive and we want to pass on our genes. So it's not going to be possible.
So even if it's not gonna spread also, it's, I have already mentioned, it's not much useful because there will be some other animals born instead of humans in this world, so they also have the same
Hmm.
capacity to suffer. So from a perspective which is not discriminative, it doesn't make any difference. Antinatalism, it's not useful. That is my point. Yeah.
I think one should just it's really about karma. It's in the karma in the sense of like I don't believe in that, but it's really
Mm,
about saying that I did not create suffering. I may have ended a lot of suffering, but I did not create something that would suffer and that would die. That's all. It's really a
mm,
personal choice in that sense.
mm, mm,
And that personal choice, I want people to like individually look at it. As a group, if we
mm,
look at it, it's not going to work, of course. But as they
mm,
individually look at it, more and more people will adopt it. Then again, not everyone will adopt it. All right. It's
mm,
really a question of saying, I did not reproduce, I did not cause suffering, I did not cause someone to die. Simple.
mm. So, for
It's like
example,
growing up. It's like growing up.
yeah. So, for example, I have a child in front of me. I choose not to
Hmm.
abuse that child. So,
Hmm.
I am actually a pure guy. I didn't do any mistake. I'm great. But if someone else comes and I just leave that house, and if someone else comes and abuse that child, that
Hmm.
scenario seems to be fine for you, or is there some problem with that?
No, that child should not exist. That's all. That child only should not exist to be
Yeah.
abused.
So, for that child to not exist, I should do activism, right?
Yeah,
You got my point.
that's exactly what
So if I
both
just
of you.
yeah,
Hmm. So both you and
so
I
if
are
I
doing
just
the
wash
same
my
thing.
hands,
It's just
yeah.
that we have a different point of view. It's just a different point
Uh,
of view. So, for example,
mm,
I'm saying that we end life on this earth. Forget other earths. Forget everything else. Forget quantum physics. Forget everything. End it right now. And see, there are two aspects here. One is antinatalism, where I'm telling people you don't reproduce, please. You don't reproduce. Why? Because your child's going to die in a flood, okay, or a forest fire. And the second aspect is ephilism, where I'm burning forests and saying even if you reproduce, I'd rather you not have the karma of your child dying. You get it? So it's both. We are going
so
extinct either way.
so that's what I told you. I don't mind whether I am abusing a child or somebody else is abusing a child. Karma is just a belief, right? It's just a belief. You can
Yeah, of
satisfy
course.
yourself by saying that you didn't do anything. But only thing that
Hmm.
matters is whether that child is experiencing that abuse or not. So that is the thing. And
Hmm.
like end it right now, you are telling that you don't have to think about quantum physics or anything. You just think about what you know and end it. So I can
Hmm.
also think that I don't have to think about convincing people. I don't have to think about convincing people to stop reproducing. I don't have to think convince people to like euthanize animals. I'll just end
Hmm.
my life now. I can think
Hmm.
like that also, right? If I
You
narrow
can
my
think whatever you like.
ideology.
See, you and I, the whole
Mm,
point is that We can all think whatever we like. Okay, technically our lives are useless and it does not have any imprint on the universe or anything, right? But it's just
mm,
that we are choosing our paths that give us liberation, that give us in a way a certain enlightenment, and that give us something to do
mm,
during our long boring lives, right? For whatever reason, you and
mm,
I have not chosen to end it. All right. And
mm,
this is what we are doing. So you choose the cosmos. Then some kid will say, what about the multiverse? And then someone else will say,
mm,
but what about some? So it's endless. So
mm.
it's really about your sphere of activism that you choose.
No, if it's up to individuals, what they can choose it. Like I can choose to be selfish also. I'll reproduce, I'll consume whatever I can, I'll abuse animals
Sure.
also, women also. So that
Mm,
that is actually not that might be fine for that person, but ethically that is not right. That is a point. Ethically,
mm,
rationally, when we are speaking, there are no different choices. There is only one choice. Ethically and rationally, there will be only one choice. Okay, that is the
mm,
thing. And like I am not choosing the universe alone. And I told you already, like we don't even know whether multiverses are there. So my point is there
mm,
wherever sentient life can exist,
mm,
if there is a multiverse, there are other universes where there can be similar life, there are similar
mm,
physical laws, etc. When then we should
mm,
obviously wait whether we can like try whether we can do something there also. So that is my point.
mm,
Okay, I'm not saying that I'm limiting that to our universe or something. We don't know whether how
mm,
our universe is, like above that something is there or something. So
mm,
yeah, rationally and ethically you cannot discriminate anything. You cannot like be blind to any possibility, any probability of causing extinction. You will have to accept the fact
okay.
there is a possibility, there is a theory like this, it is possible, it is not impossible. So like you have to accept that rationally. And ethically you cannot
Mm,
discriminate anybody because it's a different species, or because it's from that species is from a different planet, like that you cannot discriminate.
mm.
That's my point. Yeah.
I'm not discriminating. I'm just not going on wild theories. All right, on wild
Mm,
someone's wild theory that this may be there and that could be there. I'm not going on that. I'm only going to go on
mm.
what I see and what makes sense to me. Right. So you're choosing somebody's wild theories that may or may not be true,
It's
and
not a
I'm
wild
just
theory.
choosing reality.
It's not a wild theory. If you are considering like that, what all we have learned, we can consider all of them as wild theories. Maybe there is afterlife also then.
Of course. Arey, of course that also is a wild theory. My point is I'm not discounting the possibility of any wild theory, but I don't see
See,
it.
yeah, if you,
Personally, at this
if you
moment, I
are
don't
yeah,
see it. So why should I
if you are
why
just
should I live my life around that?
if you are just saying that it's a wild theory, I can also say that theories regarding sentience is a wild theory. I can just say that there is an afterlife, so there is no use of not reproducing or anything. Like if you don't reproduce, also children are gonna suffer in like void. I can also say that we are dependent on science, right? Science is what we
Hmm.
knows. That is more like what is most
My
credible, what is
point
most
is that
dependent.
science
Yeah,
also has theories. You're understanding?
yeah,
Science
sure,
has theories. Yeah.
sure.
So those theories are
Has
are
theories.
just
Yeah,
someone's imagination.
theories the you can classify theories also. Some theories are like just an imagination. Some theories are like it has a reason, it's not like wild imagination. That hypothesis is based on something, some assumption.
Hmm.
So whatever theories I have mentioned, vacuum decay, etc., it's accurate according to our current knowledge of physics. It's just that we didn't
Hmm.
experiment it, we didn't implement it, or we didn't even try to cause a trigger a vacuum bubble. It's all that. It's still a theory because we didn't try to do that. That's all.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
that's my whole point. Now, so it is at some level there will always be theories that there is life somewhere,
mm,
and then we have some basis of life existing over there, and then we got a
mm,
radio signal from the universe, right? So
mm,
I'm not going to go on those theories. Like what you're saying is that I should be dependent on the theory of, let's say, afterlife, right? But
mm,
that my whole point is if you are if you're believing in these theories, in these scientific
mm,
theories, then you should believe in
mm.
afterlife also. Technically, you should be believing in afterlife. I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that because
There is absolutely
it
no
does not make
connection.
sense. No, it is connected now.
No, no, no.
It is all of them are
Afterlife is
theories.
not a scientific theory. It's a belief.
No, but even most scientific theories are not reality. We've not tested them. Okay, we've
Yeah,
not,
that's all.
and we
Yeah.
can't test them. We
Mm.
can't even test them. At least
There
because then
it
we will
is.
go extinct in
Yeah.
30 seconds if we do the vacuum theory or whatever. Right? So
Mm.
you're just making. I'm not going to live my life on assumptions. It's that simple. That's all I'm saying.
Mm. See, there is a difference between such theories you have mentioned and a scientific theory. Scientific theory, all of them might not be experimentally proven, but it is not experimentally proven, but it has a reason, proper reason. It has a base regarding like our current scientific knowledge. For example, vacuum decay. It's not a wild theory like you told. It's based on our current understanding of Higgs boson particle, our like understanding of quantum physics. So
Correct.
it's not like a belief, religious belief. It's totally different case.
No, I mean, if you're taking Stephen Hawking, he made five major theories. All right, all of them
Mm,
were disproved. Right, and he
mm,
disproved his own one theory. Right. So
mm,
technically, you're still not sure
mm.
of these things, even though you may be
Yeah.
observing the Higgs boson particle or whatever. Right. So I'm not.
Mm,
That's my whole
mm.
point. I'm not going to base on my life on something that may or may not be there. That's all. Like until you prove
Yeah.
it. Like if vacuum theory is
Mm,
proved in my lifetime and I'm proved, then I may
mm,
agree with you. But until
mm,
then,
mm.
I'm not going to base my life on the
So that is the good thing about science. It's not a fixed belief. If something is wrong in it, it will be disproven. So obviously, if vacuum decay is it's not possible means it will be disproven in future. So we don't have to
thing.
worry about that. If it is disproven,
Correct.
and vacuum decay is not the just a single theory that makes cosmic extinction possible. There are a lot of theories.
Mm.
So, for example, all of them is disproven. We find out that there is no way to cause cosmic extinction. Then obviously we can resort to eliminating life on our planet, but this is not the time.
Correct.
This is not the time because now you have a very limited knowledge. There is always a possibility you can do. So we
Again,
are actually
I'm not
not
going to
taking
base
any
my
kind of
life
risk
on
right now.
possibility. You get it? I'm not
Mm,
going to base my life on possibility. I'm only going to
mm,
base my life on what I can see. If within my lifetime it's proven,
mm,
great, wonderful. Then I'm going to live on that fact. But
mm,
it's not going to happen. At least with me, I get your
mm,
point, and I get that you want to wait until it's
mm.
possibly proven. Well, that's where we end this debate because then in on this case we are not going to agree. You understand?
So okay, I agree that you are not going to wait for that possibility. So without waiting, what are you going to achieve actually?
I'm
Human
only going to
extinction
achieve
is that
extinction on this earth, and I'm happy with it. As long as this
okay?
earth it can be
Uh,
barren, that's all that matters.
So, like if life exists outside the planet and life is very common stuff, it is going on, popping out from everywhere. Then what is the point in
Mhm.
even causing extinction, right? Like maybe life, we will kill 20, like we will euthanize 20 quintillion beings here. Another 20 quintillion beings will be born in another
Mhm.
planet.
Well,
So there is
that
no
is up to
point, right?
them. Again, I'm not going to base my life on some potential theory. No, that's all I'm saying. If
So
it's proved
basically, you are
within my lifetime, great.
discriminating,
Otherwise,
right?
I'm going to work on it now.
So basically, you are discriminating, right? You are saying that it's up to them. How are you like differentiating?
No,
How are you discriminating? It's them and it's us.
I
Who
believe
comes
in
under this?
meritocracy. Meritocracy. If I'm doing my own shit, right? If they want to
Hmm.
do their shit, that's up to them. It's essentially
Like
consent.
who? Like that's what I'm asking. Like who is this us and who is this them? Like how do you differentiate? How do you separate these two groups? Do when you say us,
Geographical locations.
do you mean humans? Do you mean humans or when you say us, do you mean humans and animals? And when you say them, do you mean
Geographical
animals?
locations. That's it. No, this planet and that
Uh,
planet. That's all. You're talking about multiplanetary theories, no? I'm just saying
mm.
geographical locations. When I talk
So,
about this, when I
uh,
talk about us, I mean all beings on this planet. And when I talk about them, I'm
mm.
like all beings on that planet. That's all.
So according to you, planet is the basis of discrimination.
No, there is no discrimination here. It's meritocracy.
Mm.
I'm not going to base my
So,
life
uh,
on a
so,
theory that there may be a planet there will be life.
so, so, what if I discriminate based on nations? Is it fine for you?
No,
Like,
because I
what
can
if I
see
am going to
nations.
discriminate? Uh,
I can see nations. I
you
can't
can?
see extraplanetary things.
Uh,
Anything
you
I
can
can
see
see, I will
nations.
not discriminate. No? Huh?
See in the sense what you can see through your eyes. That's the only thing you're
Reality,
gonna
yes,
act
reality.
for.
eyes, ears,
So
feel, touch, concept, everything.
mm, mm. So you are not actually seeing those species which are living in deep sea, etc. Right? So we don't have to
Hmm.
care about them.
They will die anyway. It's a matter of time before they do.
Mm.
So
Everybody will
it
die
doesn't
anyway.
matter. Yep.
Like obviously
Hmm.
everybody will die one day. Like even universe might have a time span, like
Correct.
a lifetime. Obviously earth has a
Hmm.
lifetime. Like sun is gonna become a red giant, but the point is that we can make it faster, right? We can save a lot of generations of beings from suffering, right? That is the point. So if you are taking it like that, they are obviously gonna die. I can also think anyway sun is gonna like become a red giant anyway, earth is gonna become uninhabitable. So I don't have to do any
Hmm.
shit. I'm not gonna even do activism for antinatalism or for animals or anything.
Okay.
Just
Hmm.
gonna enjoy my life and I'll just go. So that will also become
That's the
valid,
whole
right?
point. See, it's really
Hmm.
it's we are all doing nothing. Okay, there is nothing much to do, and there is
Hmm.
nothing no imprint we are going to achieve. It's just a question of what you want to give your life towards.
Hmm.
You choose the universe. You choose the cosmos.
Hmm.
All right. Now,
Hmm.
on and your assumption that there may or may not be things. I choose this the place where I
Hmm.
live, where I can see things, where I can see things are
Hmm.
suffering, and where there clearly is life, which is screaming, which is
Yeah.
which is in pain, where babies are in pain, where whatever is
Mm,
in pain, right? That's all.
mm,
It's really up to what we choose. There's nothing wrong in either of our choices.
mm. See, there are people who do activism for children, for animals, etc. Right?
Hmm.
They don't actually see all the animals who are suffering in this world. So, for example, I'm an
Correct.
animal rights activist, and I'm saying that
Hmm.
I'm only gonna help those animals which are within my visible range. For example, the puppy in my
Right.
house or the chickens in my nearby slaughterhouse. I'm gonna work for them alone. I don't mind.
Hmm.
That's not how activism works, right? So we
No,
know
no, no,
that
no, no, no.
globally,
You're wrong. You're wrong on
globally,
this. You have to start from
Mm,
home. Charity starts at home. Charity starts at home.
uh,
All right. You start
mm,
with the people within your vicinity. And if you later realize
mm,
that there are other dogs who are suffering, you later realize that there are other cats, then by the time you've
mm,
reached those cats and dogs, you understood, you've got the experience, you
mm,
understand how to help them,
mm,
you understand what they need, what they don't need. All right. So charity always
mm,
starts at home. You cannot just be like, I'm going to the whole cosmos and every atom. That doesn't make sense.
mm.
That is not rational.
See, charity starts from our home. So I decide to euthanize the kitten in my house. I euthanize the dog in my house, and next I am there in my house. So what I'll do is that I'll euthanize myself. So who is gonna save the other animals who is outside my house?
They'll be saved anyway. The planet is going to
Huh?
blow up, but you'll be doing a better service if you feed your dog every day the most
No.
carbon intensive food you can. All right, if you get it from the worst jungles in the world, you'll be doing more of a service if that thing is consuming it rather than
Mhm.
euthanizing it.
No. Like for example, like
I can't hear anything
animals
you're
getting
saying. You'll
abused
have
in
to
houses.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I can't hear anything. You'll have to say it again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Is it
I can hear
audible?
you now. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that, so if there are 10 other animals suffering in in my neighborhood, and it's
Hmm.
actually under my reach, right? I don't even know.
Hmm.
Like if I go and maybe file a police complaint or something, maybe, or if I gather some people and do activism, maybe I'll be able to save those 10 animals too. But I am thinking that
Correct.
it might not be possible. It might not be possible. Police might not agree. Maybe people will not agree to do activism. Maybe people will
No, no,
not
no, no,
fight
no,
for
no.
them.
I can
Okay,
see I
maybe
can see
wait
those
a second.
animals. 1 second. I can see those animals,
Mm,
right? Huh? I
mm,
saw them. I know they are in my area. Somebody told me about them. I heard about them. I went there.
mm.
Correct?
No.
That's all.
Even if you don't
Once I
know,
can see them, then
e-
I will
e-
do anything for
even
them.
no, no. Even if you don't know, I'm not seeing those animals who are getting abused in factory farms in US or in Europe
Hmm.
or outside
Hmm.
my state, right?
Okay, but you know
So,
about them. You
but
know about them. You've seen videos, right?
uh,
Peter sends those gruesome videos.
uh,
Fine, you can find out them.
mm.
Once you've seen something,
So
whatever it is, once you do.
I haven't even seen animals who are living in deep sea. Okay, maybe in some areas,
Okay.
some, like I have seen videos of from some areas only, some from some other areas, from some like place like North Korea. They are not letting out any
Correct.
video from there. What is happening there?
Okay.
So I'm deciding that I'm not gonna do look at that. But
No, 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 no. You don't
everything
have
you
to see
don't have
videos.
to.
No, you're clutching at straws here. You're clutching at straws here. You're
So
getting into the nitty gritties of things. You've heard about North Korea.
mm,
Yeah, you know people who come out
mm,
and say
yeah,
things about
yeah,
it. There are podcasts about it. That's all.
yeah.
Whatever you can
That's
see,
the
you
point.
can do. Otherwise, you can't do
That's the
anything.
point. That's the point.
Huh?
So you don't have to see everything with your eyes. Okay, you don't have
Hmm.
to see like you hear everything with your ears. But we have
Correct.
other senses also. We have a brain. We have logic, right? So if there is
Right.
that
I can't hear you again.
can you hear me now?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello,
Now I can hear you.
am I
Go
audible?
on. Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah. So we can think using logic also, right? For example, like I know that there are factory farms in USA. I have seen videos of that, but I haven't seen any videos
Hmm.
from Canada. But using my logic,
Hmm.
I can guess that there can be factory farms in Canada also, right? Because similar
Okay.
condition, right? There can be
Hmm.
factory farms. So I have seen wild animals in my nearby forest in Kerala. So I
Hmm.
can also guess
Hmm.
that there can be wild animals in Amazon forest also. So
I'm not
that
doubting
is
you.
basic
I
logic.
agree with you.
So yeah.
I
So
agree with your
my
point.
point is,
The basic logic
yeah.
is that if there is life on
One
Earth,
second, one
there'll be
second.
life elsewhere. Correct?
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
it's a
my basic
logic.
logic
Like
is telling me
yeah.
that I will not be able to reach that life. And unless there is a way that is proven within my lifetime to reach that life,
To,
right? If there is a dog in Canada
mm,
and he's sitting, the best I can
mm,
do is make a call. Correct? I'm not going to go to Canada
mm,
and save
mm,
the dog. Right? So
mm,
similarly, if I can reach that life, and if you can prove to me that I can reach that life, then I'm agreeing with you. But until then,
mm,
until I don't have
mm,
clear proof that I can reach that life, I'm not going to give up my life.
mm,
All right, and this
mm,
in running after theory, it's the same thing. So you do what you
mm,
can in your area, do as much as you can
mm,
in and as many spheres as
mm,
you can, and don't expend yourself to be unable to help
mm,
everyone else. All right, you have to do
mm,
work slowly. You have to build on things. You cannot just go one fine day.
mm, mm. So see, even if you can travel there, I cannot. Nobody can give you guarantee that you will be able to liberate animals from there, right? So like
Okay.
that, nothing can be. Yeah, nothing can be guaranteed whether you can
Hmm.
liberate animals in Canada or whether you can travel to another planet. And I have already told you
Correct.
it's not necessary for you to travel to another planet. So there are other
Whatever it is,
possibilities also.
even how
Mm,
to get there through your vacuum theory, you prove the vacuum
mm,
theory first, then I will give my life to it.
mm. See, in order to prove vacuum theory, that's what I'm telling you, right? That's the basic point we are discussing on. In order to prove a theory, whether it's possible or not, we require some time, right? So
Hmm.
if you're like going back to time some 200 years ago, and if you are
Hmm.
telling to people that we will be able to euthanize all the animals in the world,
Hmm.
then obviously they are not going to believe. They'll say that prove to me. I cannot prove to you at
Hmm.
that time because we haven't
Correct.
developed any kind of technologies at that time. Our knowledge
My
is
whole
very
point
limited.
is they are
But
also correct.
yeah, but
They are
after
also correct.
yeah, but after 200 years, I'll be able to prove to you that we can help out animals also. So like that, we
Correct.
need to take need time. For that time, we
And
humans
see,
have to
I'm
survive.
not
That's what you're saying.
about to give my entire life and my child's life
Mm,
to an idea that may or may not happen in 200 years. All right, you have
mm,
to only do what is
mm,
within your resources, and that's it. That's
mm.
all I'm doing. I refuse to give an idea to, because then people will say in 200 years I'll prove that souls exist. Will you give your entire life to it? Will you live a
Souls,
good dharmic life? Souls.
souls. Okay,
Yeah,
see,
that
some
that
things
you
we
have a
can
soul and that
see.
you will come again.
Yeah. Sorry. Hello.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, it fell down. So
no worries.
see, some things can be proven and some things can be disproven too, right? So for
Correct.
example, vacuum decay can be proven and it can be disproven too. So vacuum
Right.
decay is not a wild theory like a soul or an afterlife or something. It has a basis. It
Hmm.
has a basic reason. Okay, it is according to our current knowledge of science. So we can prove it and disprove it. So salts, these things, they are sufferings and all, we can disprove it now itself, right?
No, you cannot really disprove
Because
it. Especially if you're talking about
mm,
afterlife and all. There are people who are
mm,
born and say that, hey, I know this thing exists. All right, maybe they're using their
mm,
logic, maybe they're using their brain. I don't know, but they
mm,
say that, and these things cannot exactly be
mm,
disproven by saying that. How do you
mm,
know this? He maybe just knows it by intuition. Maybe his dad told him. Maybe he heard
mm,
in a conversation, right? So these
mm,
things are not.
mm,
It's not yet been disproven at all. It
mm,
so my point is that I'm not going to live my limited time on this earth, 80
mm,
years, hopefully not 80, maybe
mm,
50, but and say that, oh, I will live a
mm,
good life like a little good boy, because I may
mm,
or may not come back, and that
mm,
theory may or may not be proven one day before my death. All right, we've not
mm,
yet disproven that there is a God or there's not. He may be, if there is
mm,
a God, he's quite an idiot. But we've not
mm,
yet disproven it. So
mm,
assuming that the theory will be disproven, and all that,
mm,
is not something I'm willing to give my life. That's all.
mm. See, whether like you are saying that for something which may or may not be possible, I don't have to risk my child's life like that or not. So if you are discriminating animals, you can obviously say that, because like I don't want my child to suffer. If instead of that some animals suffer, if instead of that some aliens suffer, it's fine for me. Then it's obviously very easy for you to take a decision. But
No, I'm not
unless you
discriminating.
are
I'm using my child's
mm,
resources now. Don't worry, I use a
mm.
lot of resources. So I'm. It's
See,
not that
okay.
I'm being goody two shoes over here.
So even if you are using resources, if you have a child, means child will also be using resources, right?
No, but I have a limited amount of money. Na? I'm not an Ambani to spend 1,000 crores on my child's wedding. If I do have Ambani resources, then
Mm,
I'm going to use my child's resources also. It's all about how many resources you have, right? So if I'm
mm,
using those resources for my pleasure,
mm,
why the hell should I have
mm.
Ambani? The same amount of
So you are
resources as a
using all
child.
the
It's not like I have
resources.
1,000 crores, right?
So even if you are using all the resources and you're then you have a child, means that child is gonna make some money and he's also gonna use a lot of resources, right? So obviously it will be
No,
like
but then
one
I
plus
gave
one.
you the orphan solution, which is much more effective technically, instead of me having my own child.
So whatever it is, even if it is 0.01 chance that we can destroy this, like we can eliminate the root cause of life, we have to go for it, because otherwise it's useless, totally useless. You are even causing extinction throughout the planet. Okay, you are destroying Earth. It is useless because, like in a rational sense, it's useless because there can be born like other planets like Earth can be born. So there is no difference. 20 quintillion beings were suffering here. You destroyed them. Another planet with 20
Exactly, but
quintillion beings are born.
isn't it more useless? Isn't it more useless that
Mm,
2 generations down the line, there are half the people are like us
mm,
and half the people are like
mm.
someone else, and they both destroy each other and kill each other and taking that chance? It's useless. It's even more useless because there'll be life on
How
Earth
is it?
and there'll be life on other
Mm,
Earths. So might as well do
mm.
what is here, now.
So anyway, you will be going extinct in the future, right? If you are going to kill each other, whatever it is, you are going to extinction itself. And
My
so,
so
once
let's go
again,
extinct right here, right now, instead
so
of assuming
uh,
that all of
mm.
this nonsense is going to be, we at some point will be able to make all of this extinct.
So yeah, so if it is possible, the root cause of life is gonna end, and the entire like nobody nowhere is going to suffer. And if
Hmm.
humans are suffering also due to the number of humans, we will be controlling animal suffering, right? So it's
Hmm.
in any way, whatever way you see that, so human surviving is always better in case of net suffering.
I agree. Hmm.
Yeah. So that's better, right?
Yeah.
Human
Okay. So I
surviving
guess
for.
okay. So
Mm,
I guess see, I don't have unlimited time now.
yeah.
So I guess let's end it at this, right? That we have come to
Yeah.
different conclusions and we look at the world in different
Mm,
ways. You look at the cosmos, I look at the world. And
mm,
but I guess I've learned a lot from this. So it was a good
mm,
interaction, and I think fundamentally we agree on certain things. It's just that we
mm,
disagree on the way of doing it. So
mm.
that was great fun, man. It was, and I love your videos, by the way. I love seeing your
Yeah.
the condescending way in which you shout at breeders and say you're a bloody idiot. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's it, man. It was lovely. I think we should have another
Okay.
conversation sometime, maybe on euthanasia or
Sure, sure.
something.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure, sure. Okay.
yeah. All
Yeah.
right, man.
See
See
you.
you. Yeah.
All right. All
Bye.
right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Great
Bye.
fun.
Bye. So I guess we came to a conclusion that if you have to be an antinatalist, you will have to discriminate either animals or somebody outside of human species. Otherwise, there is no logic behind antinatalism. What is the logic? Humans, you want humans to go extinct. Don't want humans to suffer. But instead of that, animals or some other beings are going to suffer. So, if you are not discriminating anyone, if you are really rational, if you are really ethical, you will have to be an extinctionist. There is no other way around. That is the point. Okay. Abhishek, bro.
Yeah.
I guess we can stop the live then.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Bye.